I moved from England, where I'd lived in London for many, many years, though, as you probably gather from these poems, I'd been brought up in the countryside. I moved from London and came to live in Baltimore in 2015, when I was given a job at Johns Hopkins, where I work in the writing seminars. And I thought that I would end by reading one of the poems that I've written since I came to live in America. I came for lots of reasons, some, as it were, personal ones, and some literary ones too. I was very keen to put myself in a different literary context than the one that I'd spent so many years in, and in particular to stand under the great Niagaran downpour of American poetry and see what it did to me. In the short term, what it did to me was to make me write a lot of poems set in England, which I think often happens with people who've left their homes. They can't help turning to look over their shoulder at what they left behind, because in an odd sort of way, it comes into sharper focus than it ever did when they were living in that place. But it did various things formally too to me. And one of the things that I was most keen to make happen was to snap me out of some of the formally more conservative small c shapes that I'd written in. So this is a more freely moving poem that is spoken by some grass. I mean, grass that grows on the face of the earth. And it's called What the Grass Says. I have been talking to you a long while now, but only recently have you begun to pay me serious attention. It is time, given that I have grown tall enough to peer over the wall you have built around me. Every morning and night, I easily catch your eye as you fume past in your tedious traffic stream. I hear exactly what you are thinking. I see your glance flicker between the headstones adorned with fading names and unhappy nymphs. I know you ask yourself what it would mean to go to ground in this particular foreign field. So let me reassure you. In stillness, I am always a reliable green silence, scarred with minuscule bug shifts and bird scratches. When the wind blows, I am ready with my repertoire of tongues, a sugar spill for a gentle puff, seething spits for the storm dog and his thunder. Also, I am a humble servant. Encountering your children in due course, I promise to flatten under their tread and lie down as I would on their natural side of the world. Also, I have remarkable ways to please you. I become gold and violet and lavender, and if I coarsen in winter, dying down to a brown mess, it only goes to show I too have my weakness. Sometimes I turn myself into a glittering sword, at others a feather, a bristle, a head of hair, the claws of a paw. Sometimes I raise my offspring sometimes I raise my offspring to resemble the knob of a small stick. Elsewhere, I am a wand, a midget finger, a tickle, soft as mouse fur. Even without trying, my millions of needling shadows weave an enormous dark of no particular shape. If you see me retire in this way, through the debris of myself, be certain I will revive and bask forever in the bliss of infinite patience.